let's not forget the events and efforts that brought us here this past year as the community to overcome adversity. We will build a stronger, more resilient East Palestine.
East Palestine determined to move forward, not wanting to be defined by the toxic train derailment that blindsided their community. 19 News with live Total Team coverage derailed 1 year later. Thanks for joining us now at 3. I'm Nicole Versansky. Tomorrow marks 1 year since that toxic train derailment, and today we are reflecting on all that has happened in that area since the disaster and certainly the work that still has to be done. 19 News anchor Chris Fry joining us live from East Palestine this afternoon. And Chris, that derailment changed that community forever.
Nikki, good afternoon to you. And a lot of people here in East Palestine, they have dealt with a lot over the last 365 days. They've been resilient, even despite the problems and challenges that still exist. We begin now with Brian Duffy. He has a look back at the start of the accident that turned this village upside down.
There was an explosion, a fire, smoke, and fear.
I went outside on the porch and looked, and you see flames shooting about 20 feet in the air.
A Norfolk Southern train had derailed in the tiny town of East Palestine, carrying vinyl chloride, a hazardous, toxic chemical. But it never had to happen. Just 20 minutes before the doomed train derailed, surveillance video captured fire shooting from the wheel assembly on multiple cars. Norfolk Southern crews never noticed. And now highly toxic vinyl chloride was burning, choking the air, and leaking into the ground. Then it got worse. Temperatures skyrocketed in one of the containers carrying the vinyl chloride.
We are at a risk now of a catastrophic failure of that container.
If you have not evacuated, please leave the area.
It was time to go, but not easy to do.
Oh, the kitties!
Next, a still controversial decision, a controlled explosion and burn of the vinyl chloride, and alarming words from the governor in support of and just before the controlled burn.
Those in the red area are facing grave danger of death.
Ooh, okay.
There it is.
All right.
The controlled explosion seen live on 19 News. I heard a massive explosion, a huge explosion. As that smoke plume grew, it billowed, mushroomed, and turned dark as night. Because we've heard and we've talked about how dangerous this chemical is, and it feels like we're standing underneath it, quite honestly. As ominous as it all looked, the burn, at least by those who saw it as the best option to avoid an uncontrolled explosion, was considered a success. In reality, we may not know for years the fallout from the derailment and controlled burn. At Baker's Golden Dairy Farm, Casey Swope works the family farm.
Anything that's released in the air could have an effect on our milk.
The long-term concern over health and environmental issues will not go away. But at that moment, dealing with fear and anxiety, some here just wanted to go home now.
We don't know anything. We are clueless. We have no idea what to do.
The evacuation order was lifted 2 days after the controlled burn. Norfolk Southern crews were still working to clean up water contamination. Scott Wolf, the water superintendent, insisted the water leaving his plant was clean.
From my standpoint, we are hitting all of our EPA limits and guidelines.
But the problem remained clear. Chemicals could clearly be seen in the water. There was no denying the smell. There were and are concerns with well water. As the investigation began, Senators J.D. Vance and Sherrod Brown on the ground in East Palestine vowed change. Governor DeWine criticized the lack of strength of federal rail safety laws, furious when he learned there are no federal laws requiring railroads to make states aware that dangerous chemicals like vinyl chloride are on the rails.
Frankly, if this is true, and I'm told it's true, this is absurd.